Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. Okay, I feel really comfortable sitting here like this, look like a little schoolboy. Well, I feel like a schoolboy. A schoolboy. Whenever I've got like a baseball cap on, I'm quite in a playful, masculine energy, a vibrant, inquisitive, should we say that, energy. So I've been out in the sun for quite a lot of hours and I've caught the sun. Oh, is that a white line there? Oh, it is, look, caught the sun. So I've had real nice chilling session out there, headphones in, music blaring, and just being in my own space, laying on the grass. Very nice. And I think I spent about 3 hours in total doing that. So I've come home and I keep getting this message about wanting to know more. So should we read from a book? Now, any of you can do this, and I'm going to show you how you can do it. So it's depending on what kind of books you've got. Well, it doesn't, because you can use any books. But I've got quite a lot of personal development books. So the first book I picked up was I Am Here Now. And then I was drawn to just pick up some normal books, and I have the collection of the Chronicles of Narnia. I thought, well, I'll show you how you can kind of get your messages through any type of books. Okay. So they're kind of like books that I've got that I wouldn't class as being personal development, but who knows what's inside there. And then I picked up a personal development book, which is You'll See It When You Believe It. And I thought, well, that's ideal, because that's what I'm kind of saying to you, is you'll see it when you believe it. So look for the messages. Let's start with You'll See It When You Believe It. Let's get a message. So I just flicked through the book. There's no kind of ritual or anything. It's just fan yourself down. Nice. Stop where you feel drawn. You can close your eyes if you like. Go across the pages like this. It says here, I had watched each payday as many of my contemporaries drank themselves silly, spending all of their pay as soon as it arrived and passing the rest of the time reading comic books and generally being broke, both financially and in character. Well, that just comes in perfectly with this morning's reading, which was talking about money and actually shared on the community tab, Jessie J, price tag. So I had watched every payday as many of my contemporaries drank themselves silly, spending all of their pay as soon as it arrived and passing the rest of the time reading comic books and generally being broke, both financially and in character. Well, let's go over to some characters then. So how many books are here? 7. I'm not sure which one we're going to use. Let's see if any. It's a bit dusty. Let's dust it off. Let's enter Narnia. Okay, does any of the books want to come out? Oh, they are. Let's feel. We'll take this green one. Yeah, let's take this green one. The Magician's Nephew. Narnia, where talking beasts walk, where a witch waits, where a new world is about to be born. On a daring quest to save a life, 2 friends are hurled into another world where an evil sorceress seeks to enslave them. But then the lion Aslan's song weaves itself into the fabric of a new land, a land that will be known as Narnia. And in Narnia, all things are possible. So I was taken to like, let's put on a song. Let's see what song's on the radio. You just turn it down. No, it's not up that loud. Let's see. Aslan's song. Okay, I think it's just about to play a song. Hold on, she's just telling us that it's Saturday. Well, let's have a flick through the book first. Trinity. is coming through here. The eastern sky changed from white to pink and from pink to gold. The voice rose and rose till all the air was shaken with it, and just as it swelled to the mightiest and most glorious sound it had yet produced, the sun arose. Okay. All I need to know. And let that be all I need to know. Okay. I don't know much, but I know I love you. All the animals here. So we've been tapping into the animal kingdom, haven't we? So Spirit tells us, I object to that remark very strongly, said the bulldog. But the elephant walked quietly to the river, filled her trunk with water, and came back to attend to Uncle Andrew. The sagacious animal went on doing this till gallons of water had been squirted over him, and water was running out of the skirts of his frock coat as it had been for a bath with all his clothes on. Oh, as if he had been for a bath with all his clothes on. In the end, it revived him. He awoke from his faint. What awakening it was. But we must leave him to think over his wicked deed. In brackets, if he was likely to do anything so sensible and turn to more important things. Okay. Oh dear. Well, you could just see, oh, interesting. Because this is the book we chose. And it's the cover here. Just that comment about, what did it say? You got to leave him so that he can think about his wicked deed or go over his wicked deed. If he makes that sensible choice to do that. Okay, I feel like let's get another message here. Let's go to the purple book. Narnia. A prince fights for his crown. Prince Caspian. Narnia, where animals talk, where trees walk, where a battle is about to begin. A prince denied his rightful throne gathers an army in a desperate attempt to rid his land of a false king. But in the end, it is a battle of honour between two men alone that will decide the fate of an entire world. That takes me to, that message has been coming out as well today, the masculine being a little bit, maybe not just a little bit, but he's going to fight for his position. He doesn't want anyone else to be like sitting next to you. Okay, or he doesn't want anyone else sitting next to him but you. Let's have a look at this. So Prince Caspian, a prince fights for his crown. And as soon as we're well up into the forest, said Trumpkin, whatever anyone says, I'm going to light a fire and cook supper. But we must get well away from here. There is no need to describe how they toiled back up the gorge. It was pretty hard work, but oddly enough, everyone felt more cheerful. They were getting their second wind, and the word supper had had a wonderful effect. The return of the lion. Okay, this is interesting, isn't it? Let's find out more. But they also say that he came to life again, said the badger sharply. Yes, they say, said Knickerbrick, but you'll notice that we hear precious little about anything he did afterwards. He just fades out of the story. How do you explain that? If he really came to life. Okay. But you'll notice that we hear precious little about anything he did afterwards. He just fades out of the story. How do you explain that? If he really came to life. Isn't it more likely that he didn't, and that the stories say nothing more about him because there was nothing more to say? This is interesting because the tarot cards, the stories, still include the divine masculine. Okay. One more from this book. Nay, dear prince, said the doctor, and he too spoke in a whisper. The great lords of the upper sky know the steps of their dance too well for that. Look well upon them. Their meeting is fortunate and means some great good for the sad realm of Narnia. Trava, the Lord of Victory, salutes Alambil, the Lady of Peace. They are just coming to their nearest. It's a pity that tree gets in the way, says Caspian. We'd really see better from the west tower, though it is not so high. Dr. Cornelius said nothing for about 2 minutes, but stood still with his eyes fixed on Tava and Alambil. Then he drew a deep breath and turned to Caspian. There, he said, you have seen what no man now alive has seen, nor will see again. And you are right. We should have seen it even better from the smaller tower. I brought you here for another reason. Okay, should we go to another book then? Let's do that. I'm being drawn to the colour red. The Last Battle. The last battle is the greatest of all battles. Narnia, where lies breed fear, where loyalty is tested, where all hope seems lost. During the last days of Narnia, the land faces its fiercest challenge. Not an invader from without, but an enemy from within. Lies and treachery, just carry on, have taken root, and only the king and a small band of loyal followers can prevent the destruction of all they hold dear in this, the magnificent ending to the Chronicles of Narnia. Okay. What followed was rather horrible. Tyrion, that's how you pronounce it, felt quite certain, and so did the others, that the cat was trying to say something. But nothing came out of its mouth except the ordinary, ugly cat noises you might hear from an angry or frightened old Tom in a backyard in England. And the longer he caterwauled, the less like a talking beast he looked. Uneasy whimperings and little sharp squeals broke out from among the other animals. Look, look, said the voice of the bear. It can't talk. It has forgotten how to talk. It has gone back to being a dumb beast. Look at its face. Everyone saw that it was true, and then the greatest terror of all fell upon those Narnians, for every one of them had been taught, when it was only a chick or a puppy or a cub, how Aslan, at the beginning of the world, had turned the beast of Narnia into talking beasts, and warned them that if they weren't good, they might one day be turned back again, and be like the poor witless animals one meets in other countries. And now it is coming upon us, they moaned. Mercy, mercy's being shouted out next. Mercy, mercy, wailed the beast. Spare us, Lord Shift. Stand between us and Aslan. You must always go in and speak to him for us. We daren't. We daren't. Okay. Right there. So, very, very interesting. Let's have a look at this book again, and then I'll have a flick through I Am Here Now, a creative mindfulness guide and journal, the Mindfulness Project. But let's flick one more time through here. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. The ocean is always being filled, yet it is always still, with the exception of a small amount of surface vibration. We too can be continually open to new growth and remain still, unless we choose to be disturbed by all the things that are perpetually entering our consciousness. The perturbances are caused by our attachment to an idea that somehow, some way, things should be different than they are. Our suffering, regardless of the form it may take, is caused by the mind, by a mind that insists on having preferences and will not allow others to be just they are. Okay, our most common attachments. Suffering can take many forms and is always played out in form. Our attachments to externals are unlimited. Here are 7 of the most common kinds of attachments and the reasons why you may be treading a path of suffering. Number 1, attachment to stuff. Most of us in the Western world identify ourselves and our relative degree of success or failure by the quality and quantity of stuff that we accumulate. When we make such a connection, we are attaching our very worth as human beings to the acquisition of things. Consequently, we set ourselves up for suffering. When the stuff is not in our lives in sufficient quantity, we become our stuff. When you adopt such a stance, you set yourself up for perpetual frustration. What you are really saying is that you are valueless, incomplete and worthless. You must continuously replenish your supply of material items in an effort to feel valued. The thesis, I am lacking value without stuff, leads to an endless pursuit of more. Striving for more things leads to the realization that you cannot ever fulfill yourself from the outside. This position prevents you from knowing that you are already whole, that you do not need anything else to be complete. It leads you to hoarding and ceaselessly comparing yourself to what others are accumulating. It takes your human gaze away from the eyes and hearts of those that you encounter to their wallets and material possessions. The more you attach your value and humanity to those things outside of yourself, the more you give those things the power to control you. And when you are controlled by things external to yourself, you are a slave to those externals, making suffering the only available course for you. Granted, you may suffer in comfort, but still the agony is within you as long as those attachments remain. That's quite a lot of reading for each one, so I'm not going to read all of them. There's quite a lot here. They all sound very important. I can read you the titles. Number 2 is attachment to other people. Number 3, attachment to the past. Number 4, attachment to your form. Number 5, attachment to ideas and being right. Number 6, attachment to money. Number 7, attachment to winning. Okay, let's go to I Am Here Now and see. These give you like little exercises to do. Oh, that's nice. Really hungry? Okay. Growling stomach. Lightheaded. How do you know when you're hungry? What are the physical signs? Lightheaded, growling stomach, physical hunger. Okay. Do you also sometimes eat just because you're sad, bored, stressed out, rewarding yourself and other? Okay, so it's showing you here, you have a physical hunger. You might have lightheadedness and a growling stomach. And then down here is an emotional hunger. which is sad, bored, stressed out, rewarding yourself or other. Next time you're about to eat, tune into your levels of physical and emotional hunger. Make a dot where the levels connect on the following chart. Continue plotting observations over time and notice any patterns. Okay, notes. Footnote, there's no right or wrong here. Mindfulness is about cultivating non-judgmental awareness of our experiences and patterns. Just be curious. And that's how we should end this, because I felt that that's what the energy was. Curiosity. Intrigueness. Is there such a word? Intrigueness. An eagerness. An eagerness to learn. Okay, let's leave it there then. I will catch up with you guys soon. Until then, take care. Much love. Bye for now.